Nathan Torres stood at the edge of the Riverside Hotel's charity gala, a man trapped in a room full of opulence he had no business belonging to. The crowd moved like a slow river of silk and gold, their laughter punctuated by the clink of crystal and the occasional toast to causes they barely understood. He adjusted the collar of his security vest, a stark contrast to the tuxedos around him, and scanned the perimeter with practiced efficiency. His boss had insisted he be there, and at 34 with a 7-year-old daughter depending on his steady paycheck, he couldn't afford to argue. The gala was a fundraiser for underprivileged youth, a cause that tugged at his conscience but not his enthusiasm. He'd rather be home flipping pancakes while Lily napped, or at least sipping coffee instead of the $200, a glass champagne that seemed to mock him from every table. A commotion near the martial arts demonstration area pulled his attention. Nathan approached, expecting the usual spectacle, flashy kicks and forced enthusiasm. Instead, he found Richard Chen, the tech billionaire and self-proclaimed Aikido master, mid-demonstration. The man was a study in controlled power, his movements fluid and deliberate as he guided volunteers through graceful, ancient techniques. Nathan had read Chen's file. 8th Dan, 15 years of training in Japan, a man who'd earned every bit of his reputation. But as Chen turned and locked eyes with Nathan, something shifted. "You there?" Chen said, nodding toward the security officer. "Care to spar? I'd like to see how you handle a real challenge." Nathan hesitated. He wasn't dressed for combat and the weight of the crowd's expectant stares pressed down on him. But refusing would only invite whispers about incompetence and his boss would never let him live it down. "Fine," he said, stepping onto the mat. "But don't cry when I break your flow." The crowd chuckled. Chen grinned unfazed. "I like your spirit. Attack however you like. I'll show you what Aikido does to aggression." Nathan assumed a relaxed stance, hands loose, his posture relaxed but alert. He looked like any other security guard, not a martial artist. Chen bowed slightly, assuming a defensive position. Then Nathan moved. In 2 seconds he struck. A feint left that drew Chen's guard, a pivot that slipped inside his reach, a sweep so precise it sent the Aikido master sprawling. Nathan's hand rested lightly on Chen's throat, not to choke but to pin him. The silence that followed was absolute. Nathan released him immediately, offering a hand to help him up. "What was that?" Chen asked, his voice equal parts shock and admiration. "Krav Maga," Nathan said, "with a bit of judo and boxing." Chen studied him, then laughed. "Israeli Defense Forces, then Special Forces. You've used this in real situations." "Just doing my job," Nathan shrugged. "Pays the bills, keeps Lily safe." Chen's expression softened. "You could make 6 figures with your skills. I need someone who understands real threats, not just theory." Nathan considered the offer, thinking of Lily's college fund, the medical bills still lingering from her mother's passing, and the debt that had become a constant companion. "What's the catch?" "None. Flexible hours, report directly to me, and if I need someone better, I'll trust your judgment to find them." 3 weeks later, Nathan had mapped a dozen vulnerabilities in Chen's security systems. 3 months in, protocols were rewritten, drills conducted, and a team trained in practical defense. But it was Chen who changed the most. "Teach me," he asked one afternoon. "Not Aikido, something that actually works." Nathan agreed. They trained twice a week, focusing on efficiency over tradition, on survival over ceremony. Chen embraced the humility, admitting when a technique failed and celebrating when it succeeded. Their friendship deepened, with Chen attending Lily's school plays and offering Nathan the stability he'd always needed. When Chen was kidnapped during a ransom attempt, Nathan's protocols held firm. The team neutralized the threat without violence, and Chen emerged shaken but safe. "You saved my life," Chen said afterward. "Your team followed the plan," Nathan replied. "I just taught them how." Chen smiled. "That night you reminded me rank means nothing without skill. I spent 30 years on mat technique philosophy, but you showed me the truth in 2 seconds." Years later, Nathan would tell Lily the story of the gala, how a moment of humility became a career, a mentor, and a friend. "The secret," he'd say, "is that real skill doesn't need to prove itself. You do what's necessary, nothing more. Stay humble, keep learning, and remember, preparation wins fights, not reputation." "Did you really make him cry?" Lily would ask. "No," Nathan would reply, "but I made him laugh, and sometimes that's the better victory."